Yeah, I'll take a look at Fantom here. And again, we're going to use the same principles that I was using on all these other altcoins. It's probably going to apply, but since Fantom is, I would say this is a market leader of sorts, not as strong as a market leader as, Ethereum would be, but this is one of the leaders because as Bitcoin made a 64K top here, and then Bitcoin made a 69K top, most altcoins made a lower high, a high lower than their previous high when Bitcoin hit 64. Because this not only made a higher high, but it just smashed through as Bitcoin was making its 69K top. I would consider this a market leader. Therefore, my 95% rule to the downside, you might have to lighten the load on that. Instead of drawing 95% down and making a target right there at $14, and actually it looks like that's probably where it's going to hit. I would guess about 15 cents actually. But anyway, I wouldn't draw it down 95 to 98%. So most, especially small caps, you want your box between 95 and 98%. So somewhere like this. So you'd make a box, this would be my bear market box right here for most altcoins, something like this, 95 to 98% down. However, I would essentially take that box and put a box on top of it for your market leader type of coins, just a little bit on top. And that's roughly where I think it's headed. And what does that magically, for some reason, align with? It aligns with the structure. All this here, and it aligns with all the support. Boom, support, boom, support, boom, support, support. Whew. So I would say that Fantom is going somewhere between 15 cents to a quarter. That would probably be a good bottom guess as of now because of the very, very simple rule. Draw down from the top. That's just where altcoins are going. I'm telling you, it's extremely, extremely probable. Now, could it bounce around a lot in this area for a bit? Absolutely. It might struggle to get below 50 cents, but once the weekly 10, so here's what you're looking for. It'll probably have some bouncing around here until the weekly 10 catches up with it like this. And it might tank sooner, especially if Bitcoin takes it. But what you're going to see is this weekly 10 is going to get closer and closer and closer and closer, 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 closer. And once that red line, let me make it red, boom, gets there, it'll either fall down right around the time the red line gets to this box. So this box is right at 50, just over 50 cents, 50 to 55 cents, roughly is this box. But it will have fallen by the time red is crossing here. And it could fall on this attempt here. It could go like this and go straight down, right? Without, before this crosses here. It could happen a little sooner, but that's the general idea is it does have a support area of 50 cents to 55. It will have broken through this by the time the weekly 10 is crossing that horizontal. Or before. And those would be my price targets. Now, if Bitcoin gets a bounce here, I think actually Fantom could have, would it go? I don't think it'd come all the way up to here. So if Bitcoin gets a bounce up to 38 and change, maybe up to 40 here, which is my second most likely scenario, I don't know if Fantom has enough juice to get all the way up there. That's a 70% move for a large cap. I don't see that happening. That would be my most bullish case. I don't think it's very likely that it gets a 70% move here, but it could. It could go up to 95 cents. And honestly, if it did, I would probably take that short or begin being interested in the short at that point. But I would say a lower high situation like this. Something. Yeah, maybe rival this area. So go up to 80, almost 90 cents is where I would see that going. And that should align with hitting its weekly 10 or scraping past it like that. See the weekly 10, this line, if you extended it, it would go like that. So it'd probably come up and wick above its weekly 10 if Bitcoin gets a bounce. And that's your midterm and longer term time frame guesses on where Fantom's going to go.